Hey entrepreneurs, are you so overwhelmed with running your business? There are so many things to do and you wear all the hats. So where do you start? Where do you place your daily efforts to have the maximum impact and grow your business and move it forward? I'm with you. I'm there with you every single day. But I'm a business strategist and I've learned some tips and tricks along the way that I want to share with you to help you find clarity when you feel overwhelmed. Hi, welcome back. I'm Jennifer Drago from Peak to Profit. I'm a business strategist who helps heart-centered entrepreneurs uplevel their business strategy and systems so that they can have consistent 10K months while significantly increasing their impact. For almost 30 years, I worked on the corporate side in strategy and operations of heart-centered organizations. I've seen firsthand how aligned action can increase the impact that a heart-centered organization can have. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that today. So you're in the right place if you have a deep desire to help others and share your gifts with the world. That's the heart-centered part of the work that you do. There doesn't seem to be enough hours in the day to do everything. And usually it's because you're wearing all the hats or most of the hats in your business. And are you constantly questioning yourself about whether you're doing the right things every day to move your business forward? You're also in the right place if you're tired of being scattered and you're tired of throwing spaghetti against the wall to see what sticks. If you haven't heard that saying before, it's basically when you're trying a lot of things to see what's going to have traction for your business. Are you seeking clarity of thought and clarity of action each day in managing your business? And do you wish someone would just give you a roadmap, hand you the roadmap to follow, so that you know that you can be more confident, more secure in your actions, knowing that you're focused on what's most important every day to be successful? Hi, I'm Jennifer Drago, and as I mentioned, I have a 30-year career in strategy and operations, working for hospitals and senior living and wellness programs. I've launched over 20 businesses or service lines, depending on how you look at it. Each service line in a hospital is its own little business. So I've launched over 20 of those, as well as 3 different nonprofits. I've also been an entrepreneur several times over, including right now. And I'm married for 29 years. My sons now are adults, but for many of those entrepreneurial years, I was a mom that had kids at home. So I was balancing the demands of my family with my business. So as a heart-centered entrepreneur, your success equation really depends on these 4 quadrants. First and foremost, it's your unique abilities and value. You got into this business, you want to build this business because you have a dream and you also have some abilities that you're bringing to the table. So how do we formulate that into a value proposition that's aligned and will have an impact, the impact that you want for your client? So maybe you're established already and maybe this just needs to be reviewed and tweaked. But either way, I'm here to help you with that. The next thing that you need is streamlined operations and systems. So even if you're a small operation and you're the CEO, but you're also playing every employee of the business, you still want to start building your systems in place and your procedures, because eventually as you grow, you're going to have to hand off some of those things. And hopefully it's the things that you don't enjoy so much. But there's always an opportunity to streamline the operations of everyday business. And again, when you're heart-centered, whether that's nonprofit or for-profit, but you want to be making an impact, you want to be using some of the revenue that you generate to either donate back to the world or to be part of a social enterprise, you really need to have streamlined, productive operations. They need to be efficient. And so again, that is another area that you need to focus on at some point in your business to be able to grow and scale. In the bottom left, we have strategy and execution. And this is honestly a quadrant that many entrepreneurs don't look at. They don't set goals. They don't have a vision for their business. And I'm here to tell you today why that's a huge miss and why I hope that you'll choose a different path. And then lastly is our entrepreneurial mindset and our success habits. So as entrepreneurs, the bottom line is many of us work by ourselves in our office, in our homes every single day. We don't have cheerleaders behind us. We don't have bosses telling us, good job, or you should do this differently. And so it's really easy, especially when things aren't going as planned or the revenue isn't coming in the door as much as you would like, to get down on ourselves. And so we really need to focus on how we have the right mindset and the success habits so that we can execute on all the other parts of the equation. So the first part of the equation is your unique abilities and your value, and specifically clarifying your value proposition. One of the things that I see entrepreneurs do over and over again is they aren't specific enough about who they serve and what they offer. You can't offer vague things to people because they can't buy them. So you have to be crystal clear on who you're serving, what problem you're solving, and what tools, services, or products you're bringing to the table to meet those problems or to solve those problems. And it has to be that clear in a pathway and a roadmap for your customers so that they can see the transformation or the value that you're providing. And so if you haven't done that exercise or those exercises as an entrepreneur, and I would argue, and I've done this so many times, you have to do it multiple times, because each time you do it, as you work a little longer in your business, you hear different messages from the clients that you're serving, and you can start to hone that in and tweak it and make it into a really crystal clear value proposition for your customers. So that's one of the first areas I like to work with our clients on, is making sure that their value proposition is strong so that their messaging can be clear as day. The second thing is entrepreneurial mindset and success habits. And this is really owning your greatness. I talked about how important it is that we have positivity in order to run our businesses. You really need the correct mindset and the habits to support your success. And this includes, and this work is not often taught in the entrepreneurial world, I believe, is we need to sometimes identify our limiting beliefs and removing blocks that are holding us back. So common blocks that can be holding you back are imposter syndrome. I'm not sure that people will believe that I have the tools and the experience to help them. I feel like an imposter. Comparison. I am comparing myself to other people in the same industry, and I think I'm less than. Fear of being seen, lack of self-confidence, lots of things that can hold you back as a business owner that you really need to identify and be able to work through to get to the other side and to show up and own your greatness. You got into this business because you want to share your gifts for the world. Whatever is holding you back needs to go away. You need to be taught to integrate that into your work and to know how to deal with it when you feel those limitations or those blocks coming up. It's another area that I work with clients on through transformational coaching. Another area, as we mentioned, is operations and systems, and really streamlining and making sure they're the most productive that they can be. And you may say, well, I don't have that much to do, so I can manage it all. I'm the entrepreneur. I can send the invoices, collect the money, serve the clients, do the marketing, do the website, do the email communications. The reality is, yes, today you can, but if you want to grow, there are things you're going to have to let go of. And so in order to maintain your imprint on the business and your voice, it's best if you start thinking about, how do I do this? Let me document how I do these different processes. And that way, when it's time for a VA to come in and manage your email communications or manage your blog posting or manage your invoicing, they know how to do that because you've set up those systems in advance. And sometimes, I'll tell you what, sometimes when we don't take time to streamline or really think through, okay, what's the most efficient process, or how can I automate this part of my sales funnel? If we don't take the time to do that, we're just wasting time in the long run. So sometimes you have to take a little time up front to save time in the back end. And I see entrepreneurs repeating this mistake over and over again. So take a look at your systems and processes, set up procedures and flowcharts wherever you can, and automate as much as possible. And then finally, but you'll see in just a second, this isn't and last but not least, this is actually probably first and most important, although I put it at the end of the presentation, and I'll tell you why it's most important, is your strategy and execution. It's really crafting that vision of where you want your organization to go. As a CEO, your highest priority is knowing where you're taking your organization, owning that, articulating that, and making it happen. So your vision of where you want your organization, and there's actually a process that I walk clients through called vision scripting or creating a vision narrative. That vision becomes your destination on your roadmap. And then your roadmap is the strategy and goals to get toward that vision. And execution is key. And one of the other big mistakes that I see entrepreneurs making is that they don't carve out time to work on their strategic work. So you need separate time from your operational work, from serving your clients, from doing all the things, the marketing, the website, the email communications, the blogs, the podcasting. That's all operational work. Strategic work is building your business. It's the work that's moving you on that road toward that destination. And the mistake I see is people not carving out separate time for each. You can't work on your business, the strategic work, while you're working in your business. And so you definitely need separate times to do that. You also need the vision and the strategy so you know what you're working on. So a quote that I love is, you have to think about the big things while you're doing the small things so the small things go in the right direction. So I equate that to the big things being the strategic work, the small things being, the day-to-day in your business, because you want those small things to add up and move you in the right direction. I mentioned this before, this quote from Jack Welch, who was a former CEO of the GE Corporation, said, "Good business leaders create a vision, articulate the vision, passionately own the vision, and relentlessly drive it to completion." And again, you may say, I know, it's in here. I'm a CEO, I'm the entrepreneur. If you're the only person on your team and it's in your head, great. I would still argue it needs to come out of your head and be articulated on paper. But once you start bringing on team members, whether it's just a VA or someone to help you fulfill orders or whatever it is, whoever the person is, having a vision that you can articulate and that is written and a strategy helps everyone see the same destination so that you don't have someone driving here and someone driving here. You all need to be aligned and all your actions need to be aligned. But it starts with the CEO having the vision. Okay, so let me tell you about the clarity funnel. So we all want clarity in our business. That's where we started this presentation. We have overwhelm, we want clarity. Well, you may not have thought about this, but your clarity actually comes from the steps of creating the vision and then the goal setting that goes with that, and I'll explain it as we go. So your vision is creating your 3-year vision narrative. This becomes your destination. I actually have a great freebie on my website that talks about creating a vision narrative. You can draft one in about 30 minutes, better if you have an hour, and better even yet if you draft it today and come back and look at it over a couple of days and modify it. But creating your vision is your very first step in bringing clarity to your daily action. This becomes your destination, and now we're going to build the roadmap toward your destination. So in order to move toward that 3-year vision, you have 3 annual periods, and you need to know, okay, what do I need to achieve specifically in year 1 so that I'm driving on that road and I'm moving 1/3 of the way toward that 3-year vision. I teach you how to do this, and I'll show you more about that in just a second. So then now you have a set of annual goals, and there's only 3 to 4 goals. I don't allow people to go over 4 goals because I think that's ludicrous. When you have too many priorities, you have none. But then you take those 3 or 4 annual goals and you break them into quarters. So I have a year ahead of me, even if it isn't a calendar year. And I don't like only being held by calendar years. So if I'm planning and it's April, my year is April to the next March 31st. And I look at each quarterly period and I know what I have to accomplish in each of those 90-day periods. And the reason that that's important is because then you take your quarterly goals and you have 13 weeks in your quarter, and you break those down into tasks for each of the 13 weeks. And the great thing is you generally only end up with 1 or 2 weekly tasks. So that is your strategic work for the week. If you can take a half day or a full day during the week and set that aside and get those 1 or 2 tasks done, now they're usually meaty tasks. I don't want to say they're just easy things to check off, but it becomes more manageable when you look at, oh, I only have to do this week, and next week I'm going to do these 2 things. And then what happens is you get to your daily goals. And actually, I don't plan into daily buckets until I'm in the week. So I have a weekly review that I will link to in the show notes below. But when I do the weekly review, that's when I look at, here's my week, here's how it's going to lay out. This is Cultivate What Matters, by the way, this little planning pad. Here's my weekly schedule. Here's my big 3 and my to-dos. And I know exactly where my strategic time lies in this week because I've planned out the whole week. So that is where the daily tasks come in, and I can say exactly at any time what I need to do today to make sure I get those weekly tasks done. And so here's the important thing. Strategy and execution go hand in hand. So as an entrepreneur, you are executing every single day. But if you don't have a strategy, that execution may not be moving you toward your destination, on your roadmap, toward that vision. It may be taking you off course. So you have to have the strategy and the execution working together so that they are aligned and so that everything that you do is moving you toward that vision. I'm excited to share with you that I've created a self-directed course called Align Your Impact, where you can do exactly what we were just talking about. You can build a vision and strategy that guides your heart-centered business. You can do it with my guidance because I have videos and a workbook and tools that are going to help you really work through all of this. And so it's 6 modules. So the intro is a lot of what we talked about today, why a clarity funnel is important. So you already have a head start on that. We document our starting points so that we know when we're going on that road trip where we're starting so we can build the metrics to start working toward our vision. We then craft that vision narrative. We determine our key strategic initiatives, develop our annual goals and timelines, and then I give you some secret sauce about strategy execution and the mindset, some of that mindset work that I said was important for us to have as entrepreneurs. You have a course workbook that's all fillable PDF, so you're capturing your work as you go. It's stepwise, and then you always have it to review back. Here's the best thing, though, I think about this workbook and the videos is that this is a repeatable framework. So you can do this again and again. Each quarter in your business, you can always be updating your goals and your strategy. So this is truly the gift that keeps on giving. Your learning objectives, you're going to craft a 3-year vision for your business. You're going to set annual goals for your business. You're going to design tactics and timelines that match your personality. You're going to learn how to use the vision and goals to streamline your work on a daily and weekly basis so that it reduces that overwhelm. You're going to be more focused and set up for the year ahead. And wait till you hear this price point. You're going to be so shocked when I tell you what all this is worth. It's not what you think. So the Clarity Funnel is the basis for what we're teaching in the product in that program. But here's great bonuses that go along with it. So one of the things, in order to be successful and have that mindset, I talked about success habits. Well, I have a lot of content built around these success habits, and I've bundled them all together in a productivity pack. I think it's 4 videos, 4 checklists, and a tool that goes along with that. So you'll have all the support you need to learn best practice. And I love things that are steeped in research and science. And there's a lot of science behind the things that I share here because I'm a productivity nerd. I read on this stuff all the time. The second bonus, and this is one that I love, is strategic and operational dashboards. So are you moving toward that destination? How are you doing on your goals? And you can see this is all color-coded. We give this to you. It's in an Excel format or Google Sheets. And there's also a quick video that shows you how to use those. Some motivational quotes so that you can always, stand in your greatness and never forget that you're powerful beyond measure. So you can use these for yourself. You can use them in your social media to help remind yourself of the things that you're working on. And this is all on demand, self-paced. So 6 video modules, that great workbook, the productivity pack with 4 more videos and a bunch of checklists, and that template for that dashboard. So many people don't track the metrics that are important in their business. And I teach you why metrics are important in this course, and I give you the template to be able to do that. And so my hope for this, remember, I'm here because I want you to have a greater impact in the world. I'm heart-centered, you're heart-centered. We're doing great work together, and I just want to share my expertise with you so that you can get further, faster, and have a bigger impact in the world. So this will help you build and grow that heart-centered business that you envision, even if you have a family at home, even if you're still working on your master's degree or your bachelor's degree, whatever you're doing in your life, this will help you be more streamlined, again, so you can have that impact. I'm here to support you. Thanks so much. Have a great day.